What's up, y'all? Kirk Warner here with Ryan Petrie. We're going to be going over a cross-training Tabata interval workout for runners. This one's going to be super hard and challenging. We've got 4 different movements. Ryan's going to help demo all of them because he's such a good mover. Let's dig into it. So the format, Tabata, it's this buzzword that we see all the time. All it is it means 8 rounds of 20 seconds of work followed by 10 seconds of rest. So that's 4 total minutes. Now that's not a ton of rest, so it ends up really getting tough by that last minute. And we're going to be doing that Tabata style interval for 4 different movements today. So let's go through each of the movements. First movement is going to be the air squat. So again, we're looking to do 20 seconds of air squats followed by 10 seconds of rest 8 times over. So let's review the squat really quickly. Ryan's setup position, actually if he faces the camera for a second, our squat width in terms of our feet should be right outside our hips. We don't want to be underneath our hips, we want to be just a little bit outside of them. So now Ryan can turn and face. Our big thing that we're going to think about is that we're going to initiate the movement by reaching our butt backwards, okay, reaching our butt back, and now we're going to think about pulling our hips down towards the ground as deep as we're comfortable. While we're doing that, we're driving our knees out apart from each other and lifting our chest up. Ryan's going to come back to a standing position. Why don't you just go ahead and just start doing some squats, and I'll talk about a couple other things. If you look at Ryan's feet as he goes through a squat, there's no moment where he's coming really onto his toes or really into his heels. You should feel balance in your feet the whole time. Again, a big thing here is going to be driving our knees out as we pull our hips down. We're also thinking about lifting our chest. So if Ryan gets down here and pauses, if he does not think about lifting his chest and engaging his core, we'll actually get this really lazy, rounded position. So we want to avoid that as well. And the way we do that is lift our chest, engage our core, and that is the air squat. Number 2 movement is going to be the push-up. The push-up, there's a couple ways we can look at it. One is from our toes, one is from our knees. We're going to start with the setup position from our toes. So if Ryan assumes kind of a plank position, this is home base for our push-up. Our home base position, we've got our elbow nice and locked out. We've already started engaging our core by squeezing our abs and our butt. Okay, the width of your feet should be about hip width. So as we're from our toes, Ryan is going to think about pulling his chest and his hips all the way to touch the ground. Boom, chest and hips, and then drives back up to his beautiful plank. We don't want to cut off the range of motion here by only going about halfway down. So if Ryan shows that, oh, boo, boo. So we always want to make sure we've engaged both our chest and our hips onto the ground between each rep. So Ryan, let's see a good one. Great. There's also no loss of spinal position or butt position as he goes through. There's not any sort of rounding or anything happening like that. So that's a push-up from your toes. If you wanted to do it from your knees, you're going to drop your knees to the ground here. Okay. Our starting position now, a big focus is going to be keeping our hips forward. So Ryan needs to push himself, his hips forward in line. So we've got a nice straight line from his shoulder to his hip to his knee. We don't want to have our butt kind of sticking out behind. Now, as Ryan goes down, same things apply. We want to touch our chest and our hips onto the ground in between each rep. That is your push-up. We're going to do a Tabata interval, 8 rounds, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Number 3 movement is going to be the reverse lunge. So the reverse lunge, we're going to be thinking about a couple different things. So if Ryan turns and faces me, Ryan's going to reach 1 foot back and pause real quick. As we get into this position, we want to think about keeping our knee right on top of our ankle. So if Ryan pulls his back knee towards the ground to gently touch it, we don't see his knee shoot forward over his toe. So go ahead and stand. If we see Ryan's knee go really far out like this, we're making it really quad dominant, and we want to make sure we're working on our glutes because that's a really important point of this movement. So we're going to keep our knee back on top. And the other thing we're thinking about of our knee position, if Ryan turns and faces the front, goes back into that position, we're not going to see any lateral movement of the knee. So if I put a little reference point for Ryan to keep his knee right here as he pulls his back knee down to gently touch and come back up, there's no movement of the knee inwards. So if we saw something that went like this as he pulled himself down, we're losing a ton of stability and we're encouraging a really kind of unstable position for the hip. So the reverse lunge, keep your knee on top of your ankle and avoid any sort of lateral movement with that guy. Our fourth movement is a sit-up. So this is our final movement of the Tabata day. The way we're going to set up for this is Ryan's going to take a seat on the ground. We're going to actually have Ryan face me as we go into this. So our setup position here, we've got our feet, our knees bent, and our feet just in whatever's a comfortable position for us. So for some of us, that might be a little further out. For some of us, it might be a little further back. Just put your feet where they're comfortable and can be flat on the ground. So let's talk about our starting position. If Ryan takes a full lay back onto the ground, we're going to actually, because today we're really focusing on getting kind of a higher intensity day, we're going to be using our arms when we do a sit-up today. So if Ryan reaches his arms all the way back to touch the ground behind him, he's going to basically feel like he's throwing a soccer ball in, and he's going to throw his arms forward and sit up as tall as he can. Our finished position, we should think about elevating our chest, okay, lengthening our spine and getting our shoulder on top of our hip. So shoulder on top of hip. So as Ryan comes back all the way to the ground, he's going to again reach for the ground, throw his arms, and sit up as tall as he can, and then come back down. So you're going to go quick. So let's see Ryan try and do some quick ones here. All the way down to gently touch. Exactly. You might want to use a pad for your back and your butt as you go through this, especially if you're on kind of a rubber floor like this. But that's your sit-up. That's going to be a nice burner by the end of this workout. All right, guys, thank you for checking out this video, and thank you to Ryan Petrie for helping us out. If you liked it, be sure to let us know by clicking the like button below. And if you have any questions or comments about the workout, or maybe you want to see some more stuff strength related that we didn't cover in this workout, let us know down there. And we've got a lot more workouts and stuff like that on our channel, especially running content and form and nutrition. We're kind of doing a lot. So be sure to subscribe as well if you want to check out some of those videos, and see you in the next one.